Okay, good evening, good morning, good afternoon to everybody in Nikken Live Land and Nikken Recorded Land. This is Maggie McKee. I'm a Nikken consultant, independent Nikken consultant from the Great West Coast, Vancouver, British Columbia, where today it is like Toronto is in the summer. It's really hot. We are here today to help you know more about what we call the Nikken Choice, and I have two of my favorite people on the call with me today. My mentor and coach from Toronto, Michael Dimuccio, and Alban Frigaut, also from Toronto, who's a veteran in Nikken like the two of us are. So we're here to hopefully give you an opportunity to see why choosing active wellness and the collaborative entrepreneurship model that we have is the right thing for you to do. As you can see from this first slide, it's not about age, it's not about ethnic background, it's not about anything other than what you want to create in your life. So that's how Nikken can be a great choice for you. So what is Nikken? You've probably already been on the product showcase call, so you understand that Nikken is a 42-year-old research and development company from Japan that for those 42 years has been creating solutions to health issues, balance issues, a way for people to have not just healthy body, but a whole life in balance. So that's the philosophy that we're built on. That's the philosophy that leads our hearts every day. It's a holistic approach to life and to business that I have not seen in other opportunities. So when I was captured by this concept in 1995, I was really thrilled because I was looking for a physical solution at the time because I'd had 30 years of chronic pain. And like most people who are hurting, I had spent thousands of dollars and thousands of hours looking for a solution that wasn't having more surgery. I'd done that. That wasn't having more medication. I'd done that. That was something that would help my body heal itself. I grew up on a farm and it just seemed natural to me that in that environment, nobody in our family ever got sick. So when Nikken came along, it just really resonated with me because of the whole concept of balance, but also about energy medicine, basically, that puts the body in the right environment to heal itself. So within a couple of months, those 30 years of chronic pain were gone. I became so inspired by that, that I decided that other people were probably like me looking for those kinds of solutions. So in a very, very busy life, I was a full-time tenured professor at a college. I was also a full-time postgrad student doing more research and getting more degrees, which I didn't need, but yeah, maybe I was bored, I don't know. I managed to, in the cracks of time, because I sure didn't have a lot of time, I was able to have conversations with people to find out if they were looking for a solution in any of these 5 areas. So it really does give us an amazing opportunity to help not just with the physical balance, but with body, mind, family, society, and finances. Now, this is not news to anybody. I used to teach stress management at the college, and modern life is creating stress, and it's now pretty common knowledge by most physicians that disease is most of the time created by stress. You know, and you can see the list of things here that create stress. It's just modern life that is putting our bodies in a state of flight or fight or freeze sometimes, and our body is compensating for that and creating all kinds of issues that the only thing that most physicians are trained to give us are surgery and drugs. So this is a complementary way to help the body heal itself. You look at what's really happening in the world today, financial issues are front headlines. Most people, you know, the research shows that most people who have marital issues, divorce, etc., is because of the lack of money. They say that $500 more a month could prevent most divorces. I'd like to see that happen so we can see if that holds true. But it's true that lack of money or just increased costs, debt, cost of living, and so on create a tremendous stress on people and a tremendous burden on the family. Sometimes somebody loses their job or goes back to school. Or like myself, I'm retirement age. I have no plans to retire because I love what I do. But a lot of people get to retirement age and they know they just can't live a lifestyle that is anything like they would like to live. So these issues are pressing on a lot of people. We're not even going to talk about taxes because we're past tax season right now. So let's move on. So what do? We're really solution providers, and our purpose is to help people do what we've done, basically, which is to choose an active wellness lifestyle and live that life-creating balance in all those 5 pillars. And even bigger than that, we have a tagline that says humans being more, because we really believe that people have the right and the opportunity and the ability to be more in all of those areas that we just talked about. So we start with a mission that if every home on this planet was a wellness home, that would start that process of helping people live that life in balance. If people were sleeping well, drinking the right water, breathing the right air, having the right light and nutrition and skincare, and having a purpose in their life. And children like Michael's family grow up in that. It's going to make a huge difference. So Michael Dimuccio, you have 3 children who were birthed into a wellness home. And you know lots of people in your family perhaps who don't have that situation, or relatives. What do you think is the difference for your family with that every home a wellness home concept?
Thanks for asking, Maggie. I am blessed with 3 amazing kids who have had the full Nikken experience since they were born. They were conceived of and raised in an environment where the Nikken technologies have always been incorporated. So not only are the Nikken products something particularly they reach for when there's an injury, or for instance, my son loves to make his concoction, which is what he calls it, which is a blend of the Nikken nutritionals, mushrooms, etc., antioxidants, to support his immune system when he's starting to feel like he's coming under the weather. My girls, they're religious about their involvement with the Nikken technologies. They've been sleeping on the Nikken technologies, etc. So the incorporation of the technologies in their life, in their everyday life, has been since they can remember. And so for them, it's not about having to make up their mind or even change their mind. It's just been part of their environment. So this is what they know is natural. And because they are in a Nikken wellness home, the conversations that have happened around the philosophy of Nikken, the purpose of even my work as a Nikken consultant, what is it that I do? How do I do it? They've seen Nikken consultants in and out of the home. They've seen customers in and out of the home. They have had the full entourage of experiences from a child's point of view of being associated with this company through my involvement and the involvement of others. And so how it's impacted them is it's also shaped their worldview. My kids tend to have conversations with adults about adult things on a planetary level, things that are about consciousness, things about law of attraction. They apply these things in their own curriculum at school. They absolutely excel in school, from mid-80s to mid-90s among the 3 of them. And so I couldn't expect more for a kid's life than what I've experienced through my own children's life, from the level of health that they've experienced. They don't get sick like the average kid gets sick. It seems to pass them. And if they do happen to catch something, it doesn't last very, very long, and their solutions are natural. So it's just, I see that if you look at this through their eyes and the impact that this is going to have in the way they raise their own family, then they're going to be much less dependent on anything unnatural. They're going to be less dependent on a system which is already burdened with overwhelm. And so self-care, their own understanding of their need to take care of themselves and their family's needs through natural modalities is just built into their whole belief system. So I find that is the shift that we're looking as parents. The reason I became a Nikken consultant and continue to be is to help spread the message and to drive that down one more generation.
So that's life-changing, not just for your children, but to me, that bodes very, very well for the future. If every home were a wellness home and all children grew up in that environment, like you say, embracing the philosophy, having those conversations, having that level of health and wellness, what a trajectory that is for not just Toronto, but Canada and the world. I mean, that's what excites me. It's not just about one thing. It's about the compound interest, if you like, or the compound effect of those habits that your children have learned that are going to take them on a much different trajectory than if they had been born into your family if you weren't a Nikken consultant.
I also want to mention that they have an influence too as kids among their peers.
Hmm.
And so they do stand out in that way as well. And I attribute some of that again to the kind of concepts that they've embraced from an early age. I mean, how many kids do you know really understand the law of attraction, let alone can teach their class about it? And then go further and, you know, show them how they're actually applying it and how they've acquired things through it. So these ideas, in the mind of a child, imagine the possibilities.
Hmm. So when you opened Canada in 1992, Michael, did you know this? Did you have this vision already?
No, no. There's an expression in Nikken that first you get into Nikken, then Nikken gets into you, and I totally buy into that one. I didn't expect that I would be a Nikken consultant this long. I just thought it was going to be a sort of a stepping stone on my way to my real career, which at some point in time may have led me into the music business, which was really my passion at the time. I would never have been able to tell you that 24 and a half years later, I would still be an advocate, a global leader in this movement. No, because I didn't know how much I would fall in love with the idea and how much the idea would really impact me on a deep social or soul level, and that I could make the influence or the impact that I guess on some level I was really seeking to make as a musician. So it gave me the best of both worlds.
And did you imagine that it would bring you the kind of income and lifestyle that you've created?
No. As I said, I thought it would be a stepping stone, and I figured, you know, $5,000 extra a month, or at that time that would have been double what I was earning. So $5,000 a month, even then, would have been quite a jump in terms of lifestyle and possibility, especially if that income came as a residual income. Because with the residual income, then, you know, if I took a week off, or if I took a weekend off, or if I took a month off, I could still do all the things that I needed to do financially, but I would have the time to then allocate to whatever I was doing at that time, was writing music in the recording studio. But to be able to exceed that in the tens of millions over the last 24 years, then that was just a completely different experience altogether. So I did not see that coming. I knew the possibility was there. It had been done. I wasn't the first. I'm not the last. So it was there as a possibility, but it wasn't something I had labeled for myself necessarily in the context of Nikken. I figured one day, you know, I'd make it big, but I didn't expect it to come this way and so quickly.
And you were how old?
Well, when I first joined Nikken, I was 27 years old.
Right. That's amazing. And we now have these 20-somethings coming in now that are going to change the future even more. So that's brilliant. Alban, let's hear from you. What got you initially excited about Nikken, and then why you're still here after, 20 years?
Yeah. Well, thanks, Maggie. You know, some of the what you were talking about, having sore back and sore feet and all that, this is what got me into Nikken. And when I was first approached, I was in the car industry, and I worked an insane amount of hours. I worked 6 days a week, and you know, I started at 7:30 in the morning and ended sometimes at 10 o'clock at night. So I was that mouse on the treadmill. I couldn't get out. I was making good income, so therefore I couldn't just walk away from it. When this guy walked into my office and showed me a product that basically took all my symptoms away within 24 hours. And then he told me it was network marketing. And I was like, oh God, no. But I couldn't deny that the products worked. And so I went home with these products on my shoes and a back flex on my back. And I thought, what if? What if this could be my plan B? You know, I think the universe sends you things, ways of correcting your life. And if you don't take those opportunities, they don't come knocking too many times. And so that's when I started my journey. And my first journey that I wanted was to get my wife out of her job and away from the retail industry. So I came home with this thought about this is a great opportunity. And when I told my wife that I was going to sell magnets, she thought I'd flipped out. So here we are 20 years ago, 20 years later, and I share some of the same things as Michael said. You know, instead of reaching for a Tylenol, you'll reach for a magnet, which is on my fridge. We reach for the vital balance, the osteodens. All of the products have brought an impact, not only on myself, but everybody that I know. And so, you know, we've gone up through the ups and the downs, and now I'm associated with Michael as a frontline to him, and we want to create something big. So we want to make a mark in the Nikken world over the next year. 12 months is going to be a big switch.
Absolutely. So Alban, are you still selling cars?
No, I am happy to say I'm not.
So do you have more time freedom?
I have more time freedom in that respect because I did leave the car industry. I have another enterprise that pays my everyday expenses, but Nikken is where I want to build my business.
And that's where your heart is. I can feel it.
That's where my heart is. Absolutely. Every time I get challenged, you know, by something or other, it always comes down to what do I love? What's my passion? And when you get me talking about Nikken and the products and what it does for people, people say, do you own this company? And then, no, I'm not. I'm not the Gillette guy. But I know what the products do for people. And now, you know, when I talk to somebody about the product, I'm just telling them, I'm just a messenger. I'm sharing these products because they work. And, you know, I'm not going to tell you what they do. I'm going to let you experience them. And so it's just terrific.
Oh, thank you, Alban. You know, I was really fortunate that within the first 3 years, without the internet, this is the miraculous thing, right, Michael and Alban?
Absolutely.
I was able to build an organization in the northern part of British Columbia that was, you know, giving me more income, and most of it residual, than I could ever make in my profession as a college professor. So I walked away from that job. Most people thought I was nuts. Now they don't think I'm crazy. They think I made a very smart move, and I live in Vancouver and love my life. So what do? We basically do what we've all talked about. We become involved. We create that active wellness lifestyle for ourselves, and then we listen for people who are interested in what we have. So we share that with people. Some people become customers, and eventually they also want to share it, but a lot of people, you know, don't want the franchise with their fries. So we support those customers 100%. We also create a team of entrepreneurs who want to build the business, and it's so wonderful to belong to a community of like-minded entrepreneurs. Michael and I have been in France a couple times in the last couple of years, and it's just so exciting to be around people who think the same as we do and who are spreading the Nikken vision around the world. So is there difficult business? No. It's very, very simple. It involves people, so there are challenges for sure, but how do we share this active wellness lifestyle to create the wealth, to create the ongoing residual income that we're looking for? Well, there's a system. It's like a mini franchise, if you like. The first thing we do is we all join Nikken. We can't get the products without either joining Nikken or connecting with a Nikken consultant to order the products. So I became a Nikken customer, and I really saw the benefit of sharing this with other people. I listened to the testimonials and thought, wow, this could be a lot of fun. We could help a lot of people and maybe even make some money. So that's what I decided. Some people take a longer time to make that switch, but the benefits were just so obvious to me. I wanted to share this. I wanted to promote it with other people. I wanted to help people create success in whatever pillars they were looking for change. And so I've spent the last 21 years connecting people to whatever part of Nikken appeals to them, and then helping them grow from there. Because like Alban said, and Michael, I know your story too was initially from an injury that you were trying to solve. And so that's where some people really get excited, and what they do beyond that, we can help them. We can share information with them from the 5 pillars of health that help them to then grow further beyond that if they wish. The thing I love about this too is, you know, I'd looked at traditional business, and there was no way on God's green earth I wanted to do all the work that a company does to research and develop product, ship the product, do invoicing, all of that. So Nikken takes care of all the heavy lifting, in my opinion. They deliver directly to the customers, so I don't have any inventory in my home. I just have the products that I use and that I share with my family when they're here. And I saw my son the other day using the Mag Duo on his shoulder because he worked out too hard at the gym. And then the really cool part is on the 15th of every month, Nikken rewards us by putting money in our bank account that is a compensation or reward for what we have done to help other people. So we have to keep it simple so people can duplicate it. And the simple concept is you get started yourself as a consultant, and then you find 3 people that are interested after you've created your own successful business unit of 500 points, which is basically $500 US in sales on the retail model side. And then you'll find people who are attracted to what you're doing. You can show them what you've done, and then you connect them to the company and help them connect at least 5 customers to Nikken to get their product. So it's just a compounding effect as people decide that they want to be customers or if they want to join us as consultants. So we partner up with other people and we just keep compounding that. More and more people who join us creates more and more income. So let's look at it in terms of numbers, because I know that a lot of people are saying, well, can you make money at this? Absolutely. Michael shared, that he has had an extremely successful income rate from the get-go. And so if you follow that teach 3 to reach 3, and you get to that 3rd level in your business, you're 1, then you've got 3, and those 3 have 3, so that's 9, and then 27. So you add that up, it's 39 people who have the entrepreneurial spirit, who want to share this with other people. And each one of those is just doing that simple model of 500 points a month. You don't have to worry about the ranks because they happen as a consequence of doing what the system teaches us to do. And your income from just that bare 500 each is around 1,300 US a month. There are lots of other things, Nikken reward points, there's the Entrepreneur Club, all kinds of different ways you can make additional money, but that's just your solid monthly repeated income. So you expand that to the next level, you teach those people to reach 3, and again, automatically, you move up to the next rank or the next promotion, and your income goes up to a baseline of 2,400 and more. And as you can see, as you build it out, because it's exponential, it's not about 1 + 1 = 2, it's 1 + 3 = 9 = 27, and so on. When you get to the, to this level where you're at the diamond level, just by consequence, your income can be quite, it can certainly replace most people's income, and it can do more than that. So, and we always ask people, what is it that the income will bring you and your family? So that there's a desire on their part to continue to share this. So just look at the wide range of ways Nikken rewards us. There's obviously the retail profits, cash bonuses for things like the Entrepreneur Club, reward points, which are points you get for reaching certain volume each month that you can then spend in the Nikken store to, bring in more product that you can leverage. You can, give it away. You can use it for demonstrations, whatever. And the lifestyle bonus, maybe you can talk a little bit about that, Michael. It used to just be called the Car and Home Program. I know that Nikken has very generously supported me buying 5 Toyotas. Now, I didn't have to buy a Toyota, but I just love the Toyota. So how has the lifestyle bonus impacted your life and your family's life?
Well, my first new vehicle was based on the auto home bonus. I got a Dodge Stealth, and then I switched from that to Mercedes, and then I switched from that eventually to Range Rovers. I think this is my 5th or 6th at least Range Rover, which I kind of really like. This home that I'm in, this is my Nikken home, and but by the way, upstairs right up there is a very, very special table. It's the round table of the 5 pillars of health. I work from home, so this home was my first purchase on the home bonus, and so if you're looking to have a home, buy a home, if you got some children who are going to need a home, then you might want to start putting some savings together through the Nikken home bonus.
That's great. And I know incentives. I've been to Japan once on a Nikken incentive, and I think you've been how many times?
5 times.
5 times. I've been to Mexico, and we get to do things on Nikken's dime, which I think is brilliant. The college I was lucky if they let me use their car, and they paid for the gas for me to go and do work. that was the incentive. You don't have to take your car, you can use ours. Anyway, this is much better.
There's another incentive that we don't really talk a lot about, but is really worth mentioning. Right now, one of the biggest expenses I'm looking at going forward is my university expense.
Mm.
Particularly in the U.S., how expensive it is, especially if you're looking at some of the high-priced schools, the Ivy League schools. The Toshiba Watanabe Scholarship is a scholarship that is awarded to applicants of the children of or silver consultants and above in Nikken. So if you attain a rank of silver and above, you're eligible to submit an application on behalf of your child to go to one of the finer schools, universities in the United States, and Nikken will pick up the tab on that. And that's something that happens every year. There's an enrollee every year. There's no limit to how many people can apply. So if you're just thinking about the added expenses of having children in university, imagine having that paid for.
Really good point. Thanks, Michael. I think we need to add that onto this slide. And the other thing that is so unique about Nikken is the wonderful support, like the mentoring, the coaching, and so on. Alban, how has that made a difference for you in building your business, having qualified mentors and coaches and events to help you build what you're doing?
Well, Maggie, I've always maintained that I'm a gold distributor. And if I wanted to teach someone how to be a platinum, I can't because I'm not there. And so when I take a look at Michael and I say to Michael, I want to be a royal diamond, can he show me how?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. If I wanted to be a diamond, can I ask you? Absolutely. So even though I may think I know, I don't. Otherwise, I'd be there. But Nikken has given me some wonderful things. In 1998, I ended up with a trip to Japan. And, I don't know what the cost of that trip was, but I know I couldn't afford it. So, there's just so many things that Nikken does for us that are invaluable, and mentoring is one of them.
And do you pay a lot of money for these coaches and mentors, Alban?
Zero.
That's the part I like best. I've got Scottish background, so that really works for me. But it's it's not about the money either. It's about the support from the heart. Like, I never feel as though I'm taking from that person. I feel I'm contributing to the Nikken cause and to Nikken at large. So it's great that way. So, at the end of the day, we have choices. And, if you've been inspired by any of what we've said today, please, go through the process of discovering what Nikken is all about. If you still have questions, we have a lot of other calls on this channel. So there are things that you can find out about how to attract customers, how to lead, how to mentor, how to build the kind of business that you want, and so on. And then, of course, you start living it like we all did at the beginning, and we continue to, and we expand that, and then share it with other people. That means you would become either a part-time or a full-time entrepreneur. Most people, start part-time like I did, and build it into full-time entrepreneurship. Some people just jump in and say, I'm ready. Maybe they've lost their job, or they're just looking for this, and this is what they want. So it's up to you what you decide to do, but do something. Do your due diligence first. Get in touch with the person who invited you to watch this, and then say, this is really exciting. I mean, it'll resonate with you or it won't, but you need to do that research yourself. And if you decide to join this wonderful worldwide community of humans being more, I can promise you many things, but the one thing I can promise you hands down is that you will love the products, you will love the people, you will love the vision. So we need more people because there are so many people out there hurting who have never heard of Nikken. So we encourage you to get on the Nikken highway with us, accept the support and the love that's there, and we hope to see all of you at the next big event, which is in San Antonio, Texas, and we always have a lot of fun there. Any closing remarks, Michael, Alban?
No, I thank you for hosting us tonight, and see you on the Nikken highway.
I would just say, don't hesitate, join. I know that began with 48 hours of hearing about Nikken, and it just grew from there. So make the decision.
Right. Thank you, and I really appreciate you guys taking time out of your days. I can tell that you have done this with a lot of love in your heart because you're still smiling at the end of the call. So thank you so much, and goodbye, everybody. Good night.
Thank you.